And we're back on Way Out There on GJRB Online, the strange, the unusual, folks. Just one of those things that we do here on internet radio across America is talk about the unusual stuff going on. And we're doing that here on the Way Out There show, here on GJRB Online. You can be part of the show too, and we talk about all kinds of stuff, the bizarre. But right now, though, we're going to talk about surveillance. One of those things that seem to be cropping up quite a bit, and that the government is spying on you one way or the other through smartphones, smart TVs, whatever. Recent show, Coast to Coast, Eldon Taylor just talked about this, and use of smart technology, how the public needs to find out how this could all be stopped.
All right, let's say hi to Perry, who's in Santa Barbara.
Oh,
hello,
that's
Perry.
the wrong one. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I can fix that.
Thanks for listening to the best of Coast to Coast.
I'll just have to kind of try to find that again. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to have to, because I hit the wrong button. I thought I had the right one on there, so I'm going to talk through this. And while that's going on, I'll remind you that coming up in the next segment, we're going to visit Linda Moultan Howes' earthfiles and talk about that. And also going to be talking about what's coming up on the next Way Out There show next month. And we'll wrap it up by giving you the rundown of guests on the next Coast to Coast shows on GJRB.
You have, in your history, you have looked at the human mind and what it's capable of doing.
Right.
Now, years ago, we were one of the first to broadcast stories about privacy invasion. And we said on this very show that smart televisions will one day be accessed by hackers, whomever, and they will be able to hear you, maybe even see you, even when the television is turned off.
Vault 7.
People laughed at us,
Yep.
conspiracy theorists, and here it is. It's reality.
Yep.
It happened.
Tinfoil hats. You have
Yep.
people like Clapper testifying to Congress that no, they would never spy on Americans, and then you have Snowden exposing the lie. Now we have this latest WikiLeaks, and I understand that the 8,000 plus emails or pieces of information, they weren't all emails that were released, is but the tip of the iceberg.
That's what they say.
You know, so I
what do you say,
believe
though?
that Rand Paul is right. You know, there are a lot of people out there saying today, oh yeah, but the CIA just absolutely wouldn't use that on private citizens. I'm sure we're going to find that indeed they have by the time WikiLeaks is done. And as Rand Paul said, that's it. America no longer trusts the government.
Trust
Not
is
just
gone.
your smart telephone, your Samsung TV, but your smartphone and many other devices. You know, in Gotcha, I covered a lot of the devices that we know exist and that are used for physical control. Physical control. You know, we have the ability to take control of an automobile, a new automobile. And for all intent and purposes, you know, if it were appropriate to crash that automobile, well then, you know, why not do that? And there is some concern that, you know, that may have been what happened to Michael Hastings, the award-winning journalist, when he died in his automobile under some really strange circumstances.
Because he was ready to unveil some huge stories about government.
Right. And when you look at this, and of course, who ever heard of an automobile accident, suddenly the incident report going black?
Yeah.
Who ever heard of that?
Yeah.
And, you know, Mercedes came out and said it's not possible that engine was catapulted from the automobile some 200 feet in the opposite direction of the momentum of the automobile.
And look at Princess Diana's crash
Oh, that's right.
in a Mercedes.
That's right. So, what you have, there's been for a great deal of time the ability to hack into our smart devices, to control those devices, to monitor our activities in or around those devices. So there's really nothing new in these new WikiLeaks, this so-called Vault 7, that we didn't know from a technological standpoint. We knew that this was available. Here's the real catch there, George. The CIA doesn't normally spend a lot of time on these kinds of tools and techniques. Who really does is the NSA. So what you see in the WikiLeaks information about the CIA is the tip of the iceberg as to what's really available for use by our government.
Well, now what do they want, Eldon? That's the bottom line. What are they after?
Well, lots of things. Look, information is power. The bottom line is there are many theories. You came back and you talked about how you forecast these televisions being... well, yeah, conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat.
Don't recognize that
Problem
number.
with so many of these theories
Hello?
is the tinfoil hat turns out not to be foil at all.
That's right.
So
Bogus
when we
number,
look
I
at what do
answered.
they want, what is the direction? Well, I think clearly part of the direction is division, because that gives rise to chaos, and that makes it easier for people to be managed. That may sound like it's you might expect the opposite out of it, but the fact of the matter is, when there is great division, the government, or great threat, I should say, the government gets greater power. We have a terrorist attack on 9/11, and we have the Patriot Act. As the government gains more power, then we have less. Most people aren't aware that, following the Patriot Act, some 7,000 people disappeared into Homan Square, which is this, secret facility in Chicago. If you're arrested and hauled to Homan Square, you do not need to be charged. They can hold you indefinitely. You do not get an attorney. If someone discovers that you're there, they'll deny that you're there. They do not allow attorneys in. How is that possible for, for law enforcement to arrest over 7,000 people and they just disappear in this country?
I know. And worldwide, it's even more prevalent.
That's also very true. But so what's the objective? What's the agenda? Well, I think there are people that believe there's a one-world government agenda here. And if that's the instance, we can expect that we're going to have a whole lot more chaos, because Trump doesn't seem to be plugged in to the folks that would be orchestrating that one-world government.
If anything, they're after him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. So we can expect it to get worse before it ever gets better.
Listen to more Coast to Coast AM.
And there you go. That is an interview, that portion that was fascinating, in that it's been in the news where a lot of people are saying that there are hackers involved in getting into, if you have what they call the smart TV, which is that new TV out there. I guess you get on it. I don't know, whatever channels you get on it, different than maybe what it is a regular TV set. But this smart TV apparently could get hacked and they could watch you. So And that's pretty spooky. And I really think that I don't know if I would be interested in having a TV like that. Although I think that it would be just kind of scary to have those guys, smartphones and smart TVs and smart cars and all that. Yeah, how smart are they really? Have to wonder about that because, they could just hack into anything. So we'll talk about that more. And coming up this last hour of Way Out There here on GJRB Online. So stay with me for that. We've got a lot more coming up in our last segment here on GJRB Online. And the chance for you to be part of the show, you can do that. And we're just kind of that recording you just heard is commencing our 50 minutes of non-stop talk here on GJRB Online. And a chance for you to get involved in the program a little bit. And we just kind of run the program and bring you complete non-stop conversation here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Glad you can be with me today. And this is Way Out There, our last show for the for a while. Then we're going to take a break and be back in April 3rd. Our broadcast returns with the Positive Rock Show. Getting back to that Emerging Mondays again. We haven't done that in a long time, so we're going to have that coming up on GJRB, so tune in for that. It's been a relatively short segment. We're going to take a brief timeout, and then we'll be right back. I got more coming up here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Glad you can be with me, and then we'll do our... we'll start our 50 minutes of nonstop talk after this, past the top of the hour when we get back on the air here. And we'll start our nonstop talk and go clear to the end of our program here on GJRB Online. So we're going to do that. Nonstop talk here on GJRB Online on Spreaker as we wrap up Way Out There, the strange, the bizarre, the unusual on GJRB. And we'll probably have a break at the half hour. But we're not going to interrupt for any promo breaks or anything like that during that time slot. We're just going to keep right on going at that last break. So that's coming up, okay? And then when we return, okay? So just to let you know about that. Way Out There here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. I'm glad you could be aboard with me today here on online. Here on Spreaker, here on GJRB, and I'm Gary J. Russin. Hope you stay with me. This next half hour, we're going to kind of visit Linda Moultan Howes' Earthfiles. So that's coming up. So stay with me for that here on GJRB Online. And this is where we have a great programming here on Spreaker. Be right back. Got more coming up next. And you're listening to Way Out There on KGRB LP-FM, Clinton, Iowa, operating on 88.9 on the FM radio dial here in Clinton, Iowa. And this is where you have the best in internet